Hi, hello, everybody. Sorry about the little bit of an extended wait. Had to go to the bathroom before I came on, and took a little bit longer than I thought. But I'm here now. Hello. Hi. Really? Man, I can't believe I started, like, pretty much on the clock. Perfect way to begin our final stream of the month. But, how has everybody been since Sunday? I've been okay. It's just, the temperature's been, the weather's just been kind of crap. Honestly, it's just been cloudy the first half of the week, and then it's just been rainy the second half, and of course it's cold too. And God, I feel like I've stated this so many times before, but I absolutely hate the cold. Like, I hate it so much because I think I've said this before, where it's like I find it so much easier to get cool than it is to get warm. Like, no matter what, it's like I can prepare myself for the heat, you know? But when it comes to the cold, it's like, ugh, so much harder. But I think what really just sucks about this particular week is that, of course, because I have the displeasure of being born a woman, I had my period 2 days ago. And I think that's actually kind of making me very sensitive to the cold. So it's like, even though it's like, what, 50, so it's like, it's not even that cold either if you think about it. It's like, I think if I were to check right now, it's like, oh, it's actually 50 degrees. I mean, I guess for some people that's nothing. Specifically those who live in more northern climates. But, for me, who has only ever resided in Georgia and Florida for most of her life, that is really cold. I mean, the good thing is I'm not that cold. I am wearing my flannel again, because it was super bad in the afternoon. But thankfully the heat is on, and it's warm in my room, so I'm not suffering. But, honestly, I can't wait till tonight ends, honestly. Like, as much fun as I've had doing these streams and all that, it's also been highly stressful and time-consuming, and overall very tiring. Expecting to entertain an audience for 6 hours by yourself. So, I can't wait till tonight ends, and I can just, because honestly, I am just going to, like, just pass the fuck away for next month. I deserve it. I deserve it after all this time. But, it shouldn't be, honestly, I am not I honestly predict that tonight's stream's gonna probably be on the shorter side because, I don't imagine we have much left of the letter to go through. Like, we just have, like, the last bit of Luke's chapter, and then after that, I don't think there's much else. Like, I keep remembering that there's an epilogue to this game, but I feel like I'm only really gonna get an epilogue after we get the best ending, you know? Which I'm certain we did not get. So it's like, well, no epilogue here. And, I don't want to spend too much time, like, I mean, again, like, I honestly think, like, most of the stream is gonna probably be me talking instead of the game, you know? But, yeah, I do know that after the game's over, like, if we don't get anything in terms of the story, like, that's when we're gonna be doing some serious theory crafting and all that. And then, you know, but I think, like, during the credits, that's when I'll start talking about the game, like, my criticisms of it, and my and what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and all of that. And I don't know whether or not, like, those criticisms will be different after I get the best, like, after, you know, after, you know, the best ending and all that. Like, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, so technically, tonight and this part, you know, part 7, is technically the final part, but only in terms of my first playthrough and not necessarily the game itself. Like, I will come back to this game after some time, you know. Again, I'd been streaming this game for the last 3 weeks, twice a week, for about 6 hours each time. So I just want to take a break from it. So yeah. And you might be wondering, Airi, why are we playing Undertale music again? And I'm like, because I didn't have any other music planned, and I think this song just encapsulates, everything that happened last time. Like, in terms of my mental state. Alright, so there's not much else to talk about, is there? I mean, I know Halloween is Sunday. We have 2 more days till that happens. I'm not doing shit. I'm probably gonna be sleeping and recuperating. Like, I'm probably gonna be spending that night writing my ass off. Because I finally get to have some free time again. Where I don't have to worry about getting as much done before I take 2 days off. But yeah, hopefully everyone has a good Halloween. I think it's gonna... Actually, no, it's not gonna be raining, thank God. It's just gonna be like, ugh. It's still gonna be humid, and it's like, ugh. But, we'll get started here in a little bit. I'll save the recap I'll save the recap to when we, open the game up and all that. But in terms, so obviously I've been, you know, so obviously during these streams, before I open the game up, I've been doing these little, like, spitball theories, you know, where it's like, I basically discuss my thoughts now that I've had some time to, like, to sit there and think about it, and, that didn't really happen, because, I mean, again, like, my previous theory of Charlotte possessed Hannah, like, pretty much my whole theory about Charlotte still stands. Nothing's really changed about that. But, something I was thinking about was, and this didn't occur to me until this morning, actually, was that, so Charlotte possessed Hannah, displayed some hostility towards, I mean, I know it was towards Johannes, for the most part, but towards the servants in general, and granted, I didn't really think much about that. I just thought that, like, oh, it's whoever the ghost is possessing Hannah is, like, you know, just wanting to be super clingy and all that. But, something that occurred to me this morning was that maybe that's not all there is to it. Like, now that we know that Takako, who is the owner of the necklace and who turned out to be Charlotte's slave, since Charlotte accused Takako of bewitching her fiance, Edward, however you pronounce his name. I wonder if that's the reason for the hostility towards the servants. You know, like pretty much, like, because again, like, it does seem weird, and even Luke noticed that it's like, that, like, Hannah is acting very hostile towards the servants and all that, when, you know, as we saw in Hannah's chapter, up until, you know, that day, her last day, she was very kind to them, you know, like, pretty much the complete opposite of Luke. You know, and again, I thought that was just, you know, the ghost being, like, super clingy and all that, but I wonder if it was, is knowing what we know now about Charlotte, Takako, and Edward, I wonder if it's also because Charlotte doesn't trust the servants at all. Because I can't, you know, because the fact that she accused Takako and eventually got her condemned to burn as a witch, you know, Takako of seducing her fiance, like, I wonder if that was, like, a huge, like, in her eyes, that was a huge, betrayal, you know, like, abuse of trust and all that. And because of that, Charlotte no longer likes the servants. You know, she's like, fuck them servants, they're all out to get me. They'll take what's mine, and all that. And that's why, you know, Charlotte possessed Hannah is like, fuck the servants, I don't trust them, I just want to be with you all day. My prince. Jesus. Hello. Sorry, that was a Discord, real quick. Whoops. Okay, I don't know how to reply to that. I'm honestly tired. But yeah, so I think that's it. But in terms of what I predict for the end of Luke's chapter, I guess it's possible for Luke to die. I just don't know by who, because it's like, I feel like Charlotte possessed Hannah is not going to kill Luke. Unless by accident. Like, I feel like if anything, Charlotte possessed Hannah is probably gonna kill whoever's left of the little group that we had with Ash. You know, meaning Isabella, Marianne, and Zach. And I honestly don't think none of those three are gonna try and go after Luke. Considering. Like, I don't think that's gonna work. But I don't know. Like, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, if we somehow manage to get the majority of these characters out alive, they were probably gonna be traumatized. Like, I mean, Isabella's probably gonna go back home. Probably. She will. I don't think she's gonna stay. God. I honestly do feel bad for Isabella and Zach, because now it's like, shit. What are they gonna do now? Two of their friends are dead. You know. I mean, if Luke doesn't die at the end of this, it's very possible that in this timeline, he is gonna be subjected to Charlotte possessed Hannah's, you know, whims and all that. Pretty much die a miserable existence. You know, Charlotte possessed Hannah. I mean, Hannah's gonna still be possessed, and if she's not, you know, and if she's fully aware of it, but the ghost is, like, fucking with her, it's like, oh, man. Man, she's gonna be in a I must scream situation. In terms of Marianne, though, I mean, I don't know how she's gonna, like, that's if she makes it out alive, I guess. I don't know how the fuck she's gonna get through all this. Like, all of these characters are gonna end up with trauma, one way or another, considering what happened. And who knows if they'll go to therapy. But even then, it's kind of, and something that also occurred to me was that we got achievements for Isabella showing the letter to Hannah, Marianne, Luke, Rebecca, Ash, and Zach. And I'm kind of wondering, like, is that always going to be a thing? Or if there's, like, a possible way to not do that? But I feel like the only possible way to not show them the letter is by getting Isabella killed. But I'm like, what? But even then, it's like, I don't think anyone who played the game is expecting to get her killed right off the bat. Like, logic, like, it's gonna be such a cruel twist if it turns out that the only way to save everyone from the letters, from the chain letter curse, is that Isabella has to die in the first instance of the QTE. That would suck. Like, that would be such a cruel twist. Alright. I think we'll get right on top of this, so. Because we've been going for over 20 minutes, so. Let's get the game pulled up. But of course we gotta wait for Steam. Honestly, I should just put more text under the now loading thing that says more likely than not, it's Steam. Because it's never an Airi stream unless Steam has to verify an update. Like, I know at this point, it's like, considering how often it happens, I should just fucking update it. But I'm like, what's the point? What's the point in updating Steam when I open it probably like once a month? Alright, let me check something real quick. Yeah, so the epilogue is considered separate. Alright. Just checking. Alright. Alright, as always, we gotta open this up with a viewer's discretion advisory. So, as I have done at the beginning of all these streams, I must read out a viewer's discretion advisory. So, as has been previously mentioned and seen in all these past streams, this game deals with heavy subject matter that may range from being slightly uncomfortable to downright disturbing, and you will find a condensed list of all the trigger warnings that this game presents down in the description below. If at any point you feel uncomfortable or feel the need to step away, please do so. Your mental health matters, and I say this with the utmost respect. Please take care of yourselves. Give yourself a little kindness. And of course, I will be trying to extend the same courtesy to myself if need be. Thankfully, I have not felt the need to do that at all during my time with this game. But again, in the future, this will still be a thing. So, with that out of the way, let's move on to the main attraction. So what happened last time on the letter? Well, we read out the rest of Ashton's chapter. So we got into a huge fight, which surprised me. But no, we went to the bar, and Ash at that point was like, "All right, we need to figure out a plan." And the plan was to go to the Ermengarde mansion and just investigate it, pretty much. See what the hell is the deal with the curse and all that. So, we went to the Ermengarde mansion. We freed Marianne, and that's good. That's great. After that, it turns out Isabella and Zach came with us. Like, and Isabella saved us from being choked out by the gay German butler. And Ash realized his feelings for her, confessed to her even. Unfortunately, she turned him down because of everything that was going on, and that was fair. We had a nice talk about that. And then, the mansion decided to do some... what I can only describe as a psychological horror trip to hell. So, we underwent a loop of that. Then we encountered Luke, who held a gun to Marianne, Isabella, and Zach. But Ashton managed to disarm him, but in doing so, he got skewered. Ash got skewered by something. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was something. And unfortunately, Ash did die at the end of his chapter with, Zach holding him in his arms, crying his eyes out. And, he didn't die alone. So that happened. And then we moved on to the last chapter, which is Luke's chapter, and we learned a lot about Luke. Namely, in that what I said about him being involved with his parents' murder, completely out the window. Instead, it turned out that Luke is I'm assuming the illegitimate child of a rich business mogul, I guess, and a prostitute. And his mother was a sex worker who was an alcoholic. I mean, she did clean up her act, but unfortunately she did die before Luke was able to take care of himself, become an adult. And he instead was taken in by his father, who he doesn't regard with the highest, highly. And all that. We also found out that Luke is involved in some dark criminal shit. Illegal stuff. But it turns out Luke has also been, subject to the ghostly stuff, but of course, he's as much of a skeptic as anyone. And, honestly, I don't know what else to say. Like, I mean, we did, it was because of Luke's chapter that we did learn about the slave's name, Takako, and we learned a little bit more about the events that transpired in the past. Not so much to where we completely know what happened, but regardless, we had more information than we did, when we began this last time. And now we're at I think we're in the final stretch of Luke's chapter, because we're on the final day. And I think in terms of the only scenes we've got left, like, we got him encountering, the intruders, then we got the aftermath of Ash's death, and I honestly can't think of what else there could be, unless, we somehow get an epilogue, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh my god, are you kidding me? People are down here? Oh, that's fucking great. That was a Halloween spook, if any. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. They had to do laundry at 9 o'clock at night. One of the things that sucks about living downstairs is I live right next to a laundry room. Which means that people want to do laundry. They do have to come down here. Except you would think they would do it at, early before this, but then again, I live with 20-something-year-olds. Alright, so other than that, I don't really have much else to explain or describe. Okay. Alright, well, let's finish. Let's finish this. What? I got spooked. I was like, oh god, is the game gonna freeze? Alright, November 1st, Tuesday. Alright. Yet, in spite of the unfamiliar voices and unwanted touches from shadows lurking in the dark, rousing is a slow, arduous process. Oh yeah, that's right. So before Hannah got sent to the hospital because she passed out the day before, and Luke, of course, was worried. Like the genuinely loving husband he is. So he got her sent to the doctor. But then, like, after they came, but it was in the middle of the ghost visit that Hannah came back, and she is nowhere to be seen. And Luke, thinking that that the ghostly apparition was the same intruder, he was of course like trying to find Hannah, but Johannes, the butler, was like, "Listen, we'll find her. You just go and take a rest," because he thinks he just suffered a concussion. So we're in the process of waking up. Oh boy. Difficult, every limb heavy with lead. No matter my aversion for the words they murmur in my ears, or the sight of her horrid smile from afar, my body refuses to yield. I am at their mercy. Beyond fathomable reason, my consciousness refuses the pull of the waking world, choosing to linger in the pits of a dream, gradually drawing me deeper into unknown depths. Somehow, even if it might mean I may never open my eyes, I allow them.
You do not belong there, my prince.
Oh, criminy. Not that I mind getting a few extra hours, of course. The bed's more than comfortable as it is, after an exhausting day yesterday. Babysitting Kylie and the stress of finding an intruder in my own home. I think I deserve a little break every once in a while, especially after going through all that in a single day. I can only be on the receiving end of so many unacceptable things within the span of a few hours, you know? As gracious a host and person I am, my patience has its limits, too. Although there's still that problem with Hannah, I haven't forgotten that, of course, but that's why I hired Shulkin. He's competent enough. He won't even last a day in my service if he's any lesser than those half-wits who think they can deceive me with sweet words. He's more than capable of working on his own without guidance. Let the butler take care of that little problem with Hannah while I... Hannah.
You do not need her.
Oh, this is Charlotte talking. This is Charlotte talking. That's not Hannah.
I am here. We are here. This is where your home is. Where you belong. For the blood we share.
Charlotte, your voice got a little demonic, and also for the blood we share. I mean, I do remember that it is true that Charlotte and Edward were related in some way. They were cousins. I mean, technically that is considered incest, but back then it's like, that's how it worked.
Come back to us.
How long has it been since? Johannes has never taken this long before.
Surely there should have been an update by now, right?
So why isn't there?
Please. Please don't go.
Bloody hell, the cretins I've surrounded myself with.
Is he not paying attention to her at all? And isn't that enough reason to force myself out of bed? As it has always been the case. Oh, she's pissed. What the hell? What? What? Wait a minute. Did he not pay attention to that? My eyes fly open, expecting the warm rays of sunshine filtering through the curtains, only to be greeted by a blinding flash of light and a loud boom of thunder that sounded nearly too close to my ears. Strong gusts of wind will occasionally burst in from the open balcony door, bringing in drizzles of cold rain into the room. I must have left it open earlier before dozing off. The carpet and the floor closest to it are already drenched. Hannah's going to be so cross when she sees this. Not that it's an immediate problem. If anything, it's this power outage we should be minding first. With the intruder still at large, steering through this darkness might be far more fatal than multiple stab wounds or a gunshot to the chest.
Oh, great. The power's still out. That is exactly what I need right now. Yes.
He is way too calm for... I mean, I guess it's because of the fact that he knows that his butler, his very competent butler is... you know, is out on the case, but he is way too fucking confident and way too, like, nonchalant about the fact that his wife is missing and there's an intruder in the house. It's this storm, of course. I should have moved back to the penthouse to weather it in a much more comfortable setting. Already, I can hear the creak and groans of this old place as rain beats against the windows.
Johans, has someone been sent to check the circuit breaker yet?
No answer.
Johans?
Silence.
Shroking! Someone! Anyone?
Still nothing, and my cordial mood is quickly dissipating.
Where are those idiots when you need them?
It's really a wonder why he hasn't fixed this yet. Was I really out that long? Can't be. It's only been a few hours after midnight, if the time on my wristwatch is anything to go by. Unless I've forgotten to change it again after that last overseas trip a month ago. Though the delay is understandable if he went looking for Hannah as he promised. But bloody hell, my safety's also at stake here! Cursing, I stay still, letting my eyes try and adjust to the darkness while my hands fumble for my slippers. If that butler isn't going to fix this, I may as well order the security posted outside to do it. It's probably just a blown fuse. Anyone with a brain can repair one. Grabbing my jacket and with footwear finally on, I make for the door. Although in haste, I pause briefly when a gleam catches my eye. In one of my drawers, underneath the clutter I've yet to organize, the muzzle of a gun peeks out. Hannah has never openly commented my possession of it, but I know she doesn't approve of it, knowing the bloody firearms policy in this nation. Of course, I've not found much use for it in the 7 years we've been together, otherwise she would have already had it thrown out years ago. Doesn't mean it won't be useful right now. Without second thought, I seize it, sending the stuff piled above it onto the floor. Whatever. I'll get to it later. This blackout problem should be resolved first. Right next to my missing security detail, as it turns out.
Where the fuck did everyone go?
I want to listen to that again.
Where the fuck did everyone go?
Why is that me every time I go upstairs and I'm like, where the fuck did everyone go? There were two, weren't there? Shrokin had 2 blokes posted to stand guard for the night. I might be panicking for a bit earlier, but I'm quite sure I haven't gotten delusional yet. What? Did both of them decide to take a break? Because they think the master's already sound asleep and won't be looking for them.
Damn nitwits.
I know assassinations happen very rarely these days, and even less in the peaceful city like Lexborn, but bollocks! There's been a woman going in and out of this place uninvited who may or may not want to put a knife in my back. Isn't that enough reason to stay on alert? I'm fairly certain Shrokin won't just enlist their help just for this power outage, only to leave me unprotected. We have a difficult friendship, so to speak, but I doubt that man is an opportunist. I'm holding the lives of his family in my hands, after all. He knows what I'm capable of doing. He's not stupid enough to do anything that'll endanger them and save only himself. So where then? They're probably dead. They probably died. Only my footsteps echo along the dark path. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this is great. I don't need this to happen right now. Come on. Oh, for God's sakes. Really? We're really doing this? Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? No. Come on, Internet. Oh, my God. Come on, Internet. Oh, my God. Come on. Come on, Internet. Oh, come on. I do not need this right now. It's like this is the last night. Come on. Oh my God, come on. Oh my God, come on. Come on, don't do this to me. Come on, we're so close. I am dropping frames like crazy. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. This is fucking great. My internet is going down the shit. No, come. So how has your day been? Has it been great? Wow, this is bullshit. You know, I should... It's like an entire month where this thing did not occur once. And now all of a sudden, it's now happening. Why? I'm still dropping. Okay. Fine, we're not continuing on with the game till it stops. Come on, internet. Come on, you were... What? Oh, great, now my earbuds are going out. That's fucking great. So, my internet is going down the shit, and my earbuds are also going out. That's fucking great. I love it. I love this. Internet, what the fuck? Come on! Ugh. This is fucking great. No, this is fucking great. This is fantastic. I love it. I love it when the internet I just love it when the internet just goes down for no fucking reason, even after everything. I love it. Oh my god. Can my internet stop? Come on! This has been going on for like about 5 minutes, hasn't it? Come on, please, please. Wow, my internet is shitting the bed. This is bullshit. Are we good? I may as well take the time to explain this before I continue on. Remember when I said I was living with 20-something-year-olds? Yeah, I think that's the issue. And the 6-year-old. Alright, am I able to continue? Okay. Only my footsteps echo along the dark passage, and I'm left gripping the handle of my pistol for some sort of comfort. Without proper lighting, and with the storm still raging outside, the stories I've heard about this place seem to have some truth to it. Some. If I'm reaching and wish to entertain myself for a bit, I'll say there might also be ghosts whispering in my ears, calling. Hey, Plush, you just missed the internet just having a complete breakdown. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Hopefully it doesn't happen until after I'm done with this game, because we're almost done. Of course, it's just the wind and the trees rustling outside. Nothing good will come of allowing these thoughts to linger when problems are piling up in front of me one after another. Especially with what greets me once I get to the foyer. Uh-oh. Here it is. Luke Wright woke up to a storm raging outside, and with his whole house eerily quiet. Power was still off, and his butler was nowhere to be found, even when called. Taking his gun with him, he went out to investigate, and in the foyer of his own home... Though it's dark, the large windows illuminate the area much more easily than any of the other rooms. Ah, shit. And from where I stand at the top of the stairs, I can easily make out their forms. Recognize them, even. It's all gone crazy when these intruders came into my house. I'm no stranger to a cop playing dirty. The smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. And if one of this What? And if one of this wogs? Wogs? And if one of this wog sort is in on this, I'm not surprised, too. But Lily, the estate agent? She doesn't seem the sort. Lily. Oh, not to mention Mint. Hannah trusted her. I trusted her to be a professional, at the very least, for fuck's sake.
Well, well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
Bloody trespassers. What's wrong with these people? Did they really think I'd be fine with them walking into my home like this? What are they even doing in here? If I didn't know any better, they might also be behind Hannah's disappearance.
That's right, my love.
Oh god. They must have a motive.
Make them pay.
And it better be a good one.
For all the wrong they've done to us.
Or a bullet to the head is the least all of them will deserve.
Let's see. A photographer, a real estate agent, an interior designer walk into a mansion.
Oh shit. Thunder crackles once again, cutting me off. This time, its sound hits close enough that it nearly feels as if the windows and the ground itself are rumbling. All is deathly still for a moment. I don't let it stop me, however, as I slowly make my way towards them. Taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in their eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in this setting, with the heavy rain outside and the lack of light here. I kinda like it, to be honest. Adds something to the atmosphere. I suppose I must look like the villain now. But short of me getting close to them, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly halting my movements while curiosity takes over every murmur in my head. And it's a good thing, perhaps, that I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. Another trespasser. Great. Just as he's about to jump down from furniture that somehow ended up piled and blocking the door to the parlor. What happened there? And did he really think it's all right to do that in other people's houses? How? In other people's houses? Lout.
Teach him, my lord. Put him in his place.
My hand's already moving before any rationale can stop me. Fingers firm at the gun when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but at his friends. They are his, aren't they? Why else would they be here together? Doesn't matter. He won't let the people he cares about be harmed. My finger on the trigger is more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him. But more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. Lives are in my hand. His life's in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two.
I'm hoping this is transmitting fairly well.
People these days, in my own home, can you believe it? I feel so left out.
I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from his face, as soon as his feet hit the floor and he looks up. And we're back here at this scene. He's already prey, trapped by his own recklessness.
How pathetic.
And really, Lily,
attention.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Oh, please what?
We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut-tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. I'm not stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all that. I can't just risk it. The thought of having dead bodies here, ones that I'm not even responsible for, they're the ones who trespassed. It's already quite too much. It'd literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. I think it's more of just like, I mean, he is British. I think it's just more of how the British say privacy. I mean, because, I mean, let me try and say it the way an American does, like, privacy. Privacy. I mean, again, you also gotta remember that the British also pronounce garage wrong, like, they pronounce it as garage. Nevertheless, joke or not, Feathers wastes no time in drawing his own gun at the slight wave of my own. Even if he knows it's already too late. Still, he glares at me. Still, he fights back.
Now, Feathers. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
There's no desperation in him like I'm hoping. Just an annoyance flickering shortly before being hidden underneath a challenge. The likes of him are the kind of people I hate the most. Even with their failures already glaring down at them, mocking every worthless move they make, they have the impudence to stare people in the eye.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back the gall. You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Annoying most of the time, like a damn pest you can't be rid of. But to some degree it is commendable. I mean, you gotta admit, it is kind of like, you know, it has gotta be a little bit, it's very defiant. I'll give him that. After all, we're almost the same in that regard. Almost. I'm still the better person, of course. He tells me to put the gun down, but I see no reason why I should. I'm a homeowner in defense of my own home. I have the right to, I'd like to think. Questionable permit of firearms aside, it's not like I wanted this. But I'm already high-strung, and their presence doesn't help. Bloody peasants. I can never seem to figure how their minds fully work. And I should have also expected he wouldn't let this end in this kind of standstill.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
A short lapse. It's all it is. One moment of letting my guard down. Oh yeah, because I shoot his fucking arm! Before I can react, he fires 2 shots in quick succession. A sound crackling through the empty foyer, almost as loud as the storm raging outside, breaking the tense air in the room. Pain explodes in my wrists no 2 seconds later. Just a graze. However, it's enough to cause my fingers to tense, and the pistol slides to the floor with a dull thud.
Why, you insolent!
The next moments happen in a blur. In the following second, I'm being tackled bodily to the ground, back hitting the cold floor hard, and an arm pinning me down by the neck. There's a fleeting minute of panic and struggle while I try to untangle myself from him, before he manages to knock me out. And then... a scream. A wail piercing through the thick air. Shrill and sharp enough for the both of us to cover our ears and hunker down on our knees. and with each sharp note beating harshly against my head are the images again. Faces and voices so utterly unfamiliar, seeping into every crevice, turning sinister with each shift. They're not mine, but they might as well be with how vivid and crisp they appear. Over and over, they all flash behind my eyes until it becomes unbearable. Pounding, throbbing, thudding against my skull, worse than any headache and a hangover can give. Wait a minute, worse than any headache a hangover can give. Bloody, I'll take a hangover over this any day. It's not a quick time event. That was actually a choice that Ash had in his chapter. What the where did that come from? A haze begins to fill my vision as black spots dance around the corners of my eyes. Beside me, the detective suddenly moves, shouting a name I don't quite hear, and then... Oh yeah, that. Yeah, this again! In the next second he falls, down on one knee, desperately trying to keep himself up with what strength he has left. But eventually, his own body caves in. Taking the horrified wog... Is that the racial slur? Is that a racial slur? Because he keeps saying that. Taking the horrifying man down with him, muttering quietly to him as something distinctly red flows from his body. Blood? This man isn't supposed to be dead yet. He isn't supposed to. I didn't shoot him. I'm sure of it. So what killed him? What in bloody blazes is going on here? Is it so wrong to just want a quiet night where nothing needs attending to? Just one normal night. Quickly, everything has turned crazy with perilous happenings that are hard to explain. But it seems that, when it comes to me, death is always around the corner. I want to look him over. This is going to cause more problems. All this screaming and crying for a detective who's died for no apparent reason is giving me a migraine. Dude, he doesn't give a fuck at all. I need to get all these people out of my house one way or the other. But in the blurry mess of my vision, none of this registers enough to compel my body to move. Nothing does. Except for the voice unexpectedly ringing above the discord, and when I finally gather the strength to look up, everything falls away into the background. All that matters is her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah?
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. What do you think you're doing out here this late?
The woman that stands there is the one that I married, the love of my life. So why is it that the look she gives me now makes me feel so revolted? Makes it so that there's just a general sense of wrongness in the way she smiles at me.
Hannah! Oh, thank goodness, it's just you. Oh, you gave me quite the fright. We've been looking all over for you.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't have put the pen to the... I didn't have a choice in the matter! Like, she literally just put it on herself and was just like, this fits me. I didn't have a choice. I would not have put it on at all. Saying this makes my tongue feel heavy. I'm so used to lying, to putting on a face, but this just feels so wrong. It's such a small lie, yet a big one at that. To be afraid at the sight of my own wife for no apparent reason is illogical, yet her mere presence has been disturbing. From her suddenly devoted and near dependent nature, her obsession and possessiveness of her obsession and possessiveness to her strange way of speaking, something has been wrong with Hannah as of late. I didn't want to admit it, but it was almost as if she turned into another person overnight. And looking up at her now only seems to solidify this. It's almost as if I can't recognize my own wife.
Fetch me, whatever for, my prince.
Wait, what did he say? You gave me quite the fright. We've been looking all over for you. Okay.
Look, that doesn't matter right now. You need to get out of this house right now, alright? Stay in the penthouse for a while.
Leave our home? What if I wish to stay?
It's not safe here, darling. Now is not the time to explain. Just listen to me. Okay, Buttercup?
I hold out my hand to her, in the hopes that she won't ask any more questions. I shove away the ill thoughts that I have about her, about how this is not the wife I've married. People change, and now is not the time to have some sort of existential crisis about it. Oh my god, Luke, come on! Our safety is priority right now, and I'll feel better about all of this as long as I can have her by my side. But she barely budges from her place atop the stairs, let alone take my hand. And the way she looks at me just sends chills down my spine.
Why should I? Is something the matter? What about you? Are you not coming with?
What was I supposed to say? Where to even start? Does she not see the detective's dead body? Maybe just confess there's some crazy lady roaming around and out, and I'd really like it if we just stayed safe?
You just need to leave for a while so I can let security sweep the place.
I'm surprised he's not questioning the fact that another man's name just slipped from her lips.
And someone has to be there, yes? To supervise and all. That'll be my job, Buttercup.
Come on, Luke. Still. Nothing. She doesn't move from where she stands, still with that amused grin on her face, as if this is all just some funny joke and she's the only one who can see the punchline.
But I do not wish to leave, and you should not either. You've just arrived, my prince.
What?
This is your home. Our home. Would you really allow others to drive us away from it?
Be that as it may, it is dangerous here right now, and I'd rather have you safe than, oh, I don't know, comfortable, or whatever argument you wish to bring up. This is ridiculous, Hana. We shouldn't be discussing this. You need to leave now. Let me handle things here, Buttercup.
It is then that her expression turns absolutely horrific, and everything turns to complete and utter shite. Oh boy. Too many things. Here we go. Receiving a fatal wound, the last thing Ashton heard before darkness filled his... Oh, wait a minute, this is not new. Whoops, sorry about that. Although baffled and disturbed by Hannah's odd behavior, Luke tried to urge Hannah to leave. She flatly refused, and when Luke angrily insisted, it was then when the whole house shifted before his eyes. Yeah, and I was like, uh-oh! This is not going to end well. Hannah's body shudders and shakes, as if she's about to have a seizure, until her visage ripples and changes. Golden yellow hair is slowly stained with inky black, and her face melts into that of the woman, the maid from before, with a menacing expression on her face. Along with it is the shifting of the very ground we stand on. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang, as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls, and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it's just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growlings of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere, echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that neither belong to us nor the people who live here. Rebecca in the afterlife be like, what the ghost do? That's if she's not trapped in this hell right here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. At the sight of it, Lily trembles, hugging herself closer, while Steele stands protectively in front of her. Steele? That's Zach's nickname? Okay. Brave of them, I have to admit, to put themselves in the front line like that. Though it doesn't necessarily mean they don't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame them for. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away!
Wait a minute! These are a lot of different voices. This is where the people who stayed in the... This is what happens to the people when they die by the ghost. They get trapped in this mansion to suffer for all eternity.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook.
That's Rebecca.
This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight.
I'm sorry.
That's Ash. Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while. A harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Until there's nothing but silence, her horrid smile, and pale hands reaching out to me. Calling. Beckoning. Oh my god, are you kidding me? No! No, come on, we're in the middle of this! Don't do this to me! Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? We were doing fine! We were doing just fine. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? We were doing just fine with the internet. Listen, I do not want people to miss this shit. That's why I'm not going forward until the internet stabilizes itself. So I'm sorry if this is gonna I'm sorry if this artificially pads the stream. But fucking hell. Believe it's not, it's my internet. I think there's just too many people on it at once. But again, it's never had this problem throughout the weeks. Why is it beginning now? It's because of the fact this is important, isn't it? It's like, it fucking sucks though too, because I was just like, because I'm fully preparing myself for a quick time event, and I'm just like, no, don't, and I'm like, I do not need this to worry about right now. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Alright, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified. I really am, like I should be. But I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it won't keep me alive. Not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return. To stay.
Promised to return.
Together with me. With us. With people no different from you.
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. We bought this house weeks ago. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
A terrible case of mistaken identity. That must be it. I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman, this monster. Why would I say that to someone like her? Okay, for a minute I thought he was referring to Hannah. I was like, wow, that love just turned to hate real quick. No, he knows it's not her at this point. In my entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere two people. Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who claim I've promised them anything to... Wait a minute. The rest of those who claim I've promised anything to them can go fuck themselves. Bloody hell. I may enjoy the company of women, but I'm not an idiot to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn, especially if I'm to keep myself alive. Yet she still goes on, insists, making me appear a liar in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I.
What?
Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again, her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct. Stumbling back, one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I'm nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here. Not anymore. Nothing to keep me tied to this place. With Hannah beyond saving, no longer the same woman I knew, and Shulkin likely taken by this woman, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave. I can... Oh! My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper, familiar one, flutters down. It's this thing again, from the open house. Though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, what with recent events. It must have fallen from the detective in the commotion earlier. And with its owner having died a gruesome death, now it simply bears its equally grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter? An invitation, indeed. One I'm not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't give her the chance. I'm not dying here. I'm certainly not giving myself to a hideous creature like her, either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panic gasps and worried glances from the other people here, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door and... Without warning, it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I am expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream, when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around me, my limbs finally dissipate. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for any movement. Using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 4 of us in this room, 2 of them friends at that. Though Mint has already gone loon, crouched in a corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I can't trust these people not to turn on me. I can't trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way while they all huddle in the corner behind Steel. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse. Why, even Hannah has her cunning manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You, all of you, it is all your fault. If I've died in this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know
Dude, you're gonna be the first one to die.
But we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth. If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened. Anna would still be.
Suddenly, Mint steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand.
How dare you! How dare you put that blame on us!
Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instant, said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. I've almost forgotten she's here, her ramblings having faded away in the shouting. I should have also expected she's not the kind to submit even under threat. Right now, all of us appear smaller, facing her anger.
Last I checked, we were only trying to save you from this!
And what of Lily over there? You were there when she showed us that paper. Are you saying she is responsible for this mess? For the lives this sorting letter took? Dragging other people into her own problems just so she could save her little sorry self? You think I haven't seen that before?
Dude, she didn't even intend for it.
Tired of your double standards, Mint.
This curse is an entirely different issue, Whiskey. But, knowing you and the kind of person you are, I don't doubt that even without that letter you would have...
Please stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She's always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She's never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between Mint and I, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me. Particularly when I've done something wrong, and it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She's done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Steel, the big oaf, doesn't even dare break it, merely watching us. Too soft. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension is lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we...
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after that, admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friend and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. Impatience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now, bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends have no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Sir, you don't need to take your anger out on every single person.
Your friend is hiding something.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spread across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damn paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something?
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay?
At the mention of the letter, without warning, Min snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right then and there, but the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing. We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got.
Yeah, like, why didn't we do that?
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything.
What?
I think... You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children. Victims. All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them. Oh God, those poor souls. They were screaming and begging before she... Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose.
Yeah.
And yet they're all dead.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's like, Rose didn't see the letter, yet she still died. So what is the deal here? So, like, what does the letter have to do with this? Is it possible that the letter's, like, a red herring? That's like, oh, if you read it, you're dead? But that doesn't make sense, because it's like, Rose didn't see the letter, yet she died. So it has to be the house itself.
I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it?
That really should be have.
This cursed thing has to go! We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening.
Then what is your theory?
There's something else that...
This place.
Steele has been quiet this entire time, that the sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch all of us off guard.
It's hope. You know, stuff about
What?
ghosts or curses.
Wait, what? Did I go off?
Probably don't want to hear it.
Wait, did I just go offline? Oh shit. Did I just go offline? Oh shit. I gotta check. Did I just go offline? Wait a minute. What happened? Okay, wait a minute. Plush, did I go offline? I'm sorry. It's like I looked over at the corner of OBS and it just said like, and I noticed that my drop frames just went to 0 and it said reconnection successful. I'm like, wait, what? Did I go offline? Ah, shit. Oh, I didn't even notice it. I'm so sorry. It didn't even tell me. Alright, okay. I don't know how much we missed, so... But I'll try my best to recap it. So... Alright, so Isabella's saying that we would have ended up here anyway. we would have ended up here anyway, even without the letter. And Zach is now saying, like... And Zach is now saying that, that this place is now... That this place could be cursed or something like that. Like, he has something to say that now has to do with... That might tie into why we're here in the first place. God, I am so sorry. I didn't... Damn! That's the... I've not had that happen in a long fucking time. I didn't even notice it. Like, I just looked over at the corner, and I just looked over in the corner, and my frames just dropped to 0. And it said reconnection successful, so... I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if you missed anything. I didn't... Oh, man, I hope there wasn't too much that was missed.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach? Maybe it's also the reason why Ash went here.
Oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me. Like, I looked over. It's like, oh, come on, man. This, like, of course it has to be the last time we stream this for, like, who knows how long. It has to be when everything goes to hell. There's still a moment where he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
Steele pauses while he allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it is dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like... hope? Of all things, in this nightmare, hope? Her head snaps up and she reaches for Steele's arm to give it a squeeze. A reassurance? Or a confirmation? The meaning is lost even to me.
Then what? Do we burn this place down or something?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value.
Marianne, this place is fucking haunted. You really want this place to stay?
What? No? We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
It's not only that. Think about it.
Then, they proceed to tell us some ridiculous narrative about the supernatural. Stories about ghosts, legends, curses born out of great anger and pain, and whatever else people use to scare children. Not that I believe any of it. As if knowing will help. Bunch of loons, these people. Officially off their rockers. Luke, you are literally in a bloody fucking mansion. What the fuck else do you have to lose? To think I would be stuck in this nightmare with people like them. What did I ever do to the world? Oh my god. Of course, it's all absurd until...
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion might be keeping her here. Unless we do something about this place, I don't think she'll leave.
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
How dare they suggest something like that? Bloody peasants! My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with. Hey, you know what, Luke? Shut the fuck up, alright? It's better than what you're doing, which is fuck all! I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. Seriously, Luke is just wanting to complain for the sake of it. Furious, paranoid, and trapped in the mansion with people he barely knew, Luke Wright threatened to take them down with him. Luckily, before the hysterical man could harm anyone... If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually... Eventually, they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do! None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors with the only sane one doing the thinking. On the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. I decide to... Oh, fuck. Really? Burn the letter or burn the mansion? Fucking hell. I'm burning the mansion. Fuck this place. Fuck this place. Alright? It's not the letter that needs to be burned, it's the mansion. I am going to regret this, I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I've ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast. Think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? No need to make things more complicated. It started here, why won't it end here? If what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run the estate company to the ground if need be. This is gonna be the bad ending. To be honest, I'm already thinking we're heading towards a bad end. Like, in all actuality, these chapters have multiple endings and all that. Like, so, for example, like, it's very possible that if we had made different choices, Rebecca and Ash would still be alive. You know, at the end of their chapters. Like, I'm just doing what I think is necessary. What the fuck? Oh. Excuse me for a moment. I have to readjust something. But still, it's like, there's no fucking way that this is the good ending. Like, I know this for a fucking fact. Like, there is no fucking way this is the good ending. Like, we're fucked. I just figured, you know, maybe burning the house is gonna do something. I don't know. We spent millions, damn it! Millions! I mean, to be fair, I would be crying too if I lost that much money. With a sigh and perhaps a heavy heart, I opened one of the drawers in my study table. Taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, then passing it on to every occupant in the room! He's literally like, listen, we might die here. Let's go out with a fucking blast. Here's a shot of whiskey for you. They accept it, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good. Even more when I pop the cork off the bottle and pour its contents on the floor. Oh, that's smart, because alcohol can be used as an accelerant.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
Do any of us have a lighter? We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight, using the blasted paper as kindling. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hannah, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Although, ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door, in every room we pass. Pouring bottle after bottle of expensive aged liquor, and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one off from many nooks I've stashed one, sorry. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I've made sure there's always one within reach. Jesus Christ, you know he's an alcoholic! Hannah had called me out on this numerous times before, telling me much of the same thing. I've always told her she doesn't know the half of it, before completely dismissing her concerns. Worrywart, that woman. Luke, shut up. Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this. Wonder of wonders! Though I suppose I can now say it has also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate. As if it's slowly righting itself. Returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon, we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we've previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blazes also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, that is when she appears again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs, while her world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eye is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Forlorn is the only word I can think of to describe it.
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. I have to remind myself she's no longer Hannah. The woman I loved is gone, and who stands before me is nothing but a pale imitation of who she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The doors finally open, and through it I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell more than anything. For all of her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she doesn't stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Shit! Light it up! Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me? For some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxbourne's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn, at last. We are free. Man, lots of shit happens in this. Despite initial protests, Luke agreed with Isabella Santos. He began dousing the place with alcohol and setting it on fire. Sure enough, as flames slowly engulfed the place, it returned to its original state, freeing them. Outside, at the first light of dawn, the mansion burned to the ground before their eyes. It's over. Epilogue! So we do get an epilogue! Alright. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxbourne City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident, resulting in the deaths of innocent lives. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Realty Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. a move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But, for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood. Of cries and wails that fill the nights, and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once tread its halls, Although Luke Wright has won his legal battle with Briar Realty Corporation, another tech leak places him and Wright Enterprise under the spotlight months later. This time, however, with the then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by the newly appointed Chief Inspector, Abigail Harris, all of Wright Enterprises' illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Meanwhile, saving your hide! Meanwhile, to avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxbourne apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. Till this day, no one has heard from him, even his people from the old Wright Enterprise, who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though, over the past few months after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him flitting in and out of the city. If only to check on those he has left behind. Requiem. Marianne! Months after her recovery, Marianne McCullough heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of a life she has left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. In spite of this, a different regret still clings to her, one that has been left by what she has witnessed inside the Ermengarde mansion. She never returns to Luxbourne after, leaving her interior design company in the hands of her secretary instead. But with her absence, the business eventually declines, until they are forced to shut it. Unexpectedly, she turns to music years later, hoping it'll someday drown out the voices and the gruesome memories still lingering in her head. By some stroke of luck or an unfortunate circumstance of fate, Marianne encounters Luke Wright once again, almost a year after she returned home. She meets the man in the local marketplace, newly settled, fumbling and confused. Although her opinion of him remains ambivalent, at best she reluctantly offers help. Especially after seeing him stumble on his Gaelic more times than she deems acceptable. And it becomes a start. Not to a close friendship by any means, but perhaps something akin to it. And on better days, when vitriol and scathing words don't get in the way, there's only the pleasant companionship one offers to the other. Casual visits to the other's home, sharing a bottle of wine or two, and simply talking about anything under the sun. A comfort after their mutual loss. Something they both eventually learn to appreciate with time. With help from family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio of his own. Something he has only dreamed of having as a child. Although he still hopes to get back to making indie films someday, client work and small projects has kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermengarde mansion easier, if not faster. Even with his success, he still hasn't forgotten what he has lost during that time. But while there are still nightmares, with support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times, when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn into reality once his time affords it. Oh. Despite his business's success, however, Zack has never forgotten the sacrifice a friend has made for him. Even after so many years, he remains a constant visitor where Ashton Frey lies, staying for a whole day sometimes, reveling him with stories about his day. Although the wounds are still fresh, Zack trudges on with life instead of wallowing in his grief. Knowing his old friend would not want him clinging on to sorrow like he used to years before. It is how he has chosen to honor him. Oh. With her newfound courage, Isabella Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with their blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with her confidence in her skills growing, so do the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde mansion, nor what she has lost. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death is permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid. And with the brave face, she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Oh. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I'm so happy they're still friends. I was actually really afraid that they wouldn't be. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives have settled, Zachary Steele and Isabella Santos finally hold their first exhibit together. A project that has been in the making for almost 2 years, after the photographer casually brought it up to the other artist. While merely intended as a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of Luxborn's upper class and art enthusiasts. Although only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabella's names in the city's art scene. It has since been followed by several other exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet, even with this unexpected, overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Yes! I'm so happy! They're still friends! I was so scared that they weren't gonna be friends anymore after this! Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond being mere partners in a small project. He's her family, as much as she is his. Oh. Oh! Oh, here we go! We did it! I recognize some of these people. We made it to the credits! Yay! Oh. Zach Aguilar was in this? Holy shit! That's amazing. Damn! Famous voice actor, y'all! Oh my god. That was actually surprisingly happier than I thought it would be. Oh, this is the song that Marianne was singing in the, karaoke bar. Oh my god, the epilogue. Like, that was surprisingly happier than I thought it would be. Oh my god, that was... I will admit, though, that it is... That was sad, though. You know, Zach visiting Ash's grave. I think the only thing I have a problem with is that... Yeah, it's like, what about Rebecca? That's a good point! What about Rebecca? What happened to... What about her? Doesn't she get something? But then again, it's also, what about Hannah? Oh, here we go. Translation. Oh, so was this originally in Chinese? That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm recognizing some YouTubers in this right here, the backers. Oh, did they? But yeah, I'm recognizing some YouTubers in this. So I didn't know that this was a Kickstarter project. Man, they had a lot of people back in this project. I mean, granted, this is pretty good for a Kickstarter. But still, like, I'm so, like, I'm... What the fuck is this ship stuff right here? Oh.
Teal? Where are you, Teal?
Kylie? What?
She's still here, Teal.
Oh, fuck!
Help me, please.
Oh. Shattered fairy tale. The real letter. Dear you, if you're reading this, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another, and we thank you for the time you spent in playing the letter. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we delivered in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. The letter is the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you liked what we did with this game and would like to support us, please take some time to click on the button below to find out how. Nope. I want to go back to the main menu. Oh shit, Hannah just killed Kylie. Fuck! Dude, do we get to have that? Can we see that, actually? Oh, look! Look, 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 look. Individual good, individual bad, friendship good. True endings, friendship bad, romance endings. Ooh! Marianne all alone. Oh. So, Luke variant 4, Zachary variant 2, Zachary visits Ashton, Isabella variant 1. Huh. Marianne and Luke variant 1, Zachary and Isabella. Here we go. God, can I see this? Damn, she really broke her fucking neck. That is fucking terrifying. Okay, so this is the letter. Okay. Alright. Let's see what our achievements are. Light it up. Not only do I have trespassers in my property, they're also arsonists! Saving your hide. Abandon an already sinking ship. Requiem. Drown out the voices and the gruesome memories still lingering in your head. The real letter. There's another one?! And Shattered Fairy Tale. Oh snap. Oh man. Holy shit. That was it, huh? I didn't think we were... Okay. Okay, let me check the epilogue again here. So, we have true endings, individual good endings, individual bad endings. Oh, so... Okay, so Luke escaping and Marianne being alone are bad. Okay. And then we have good... I'm guessing this is... Okay. And then good friendship endings. Okay. And then we have bad friendship endings. But we have romance endings. What are the romance endings? Like, we get to pick and choose whether or not, like, Luke stays committed to Hannah and we have Ash and Isabel. That would be interesting. I'm interested in that. Man. So we have 2 pictures after this. So, damn, man. That is fucked. Like, Hannah grabbing Kylie and fucking killing her. Holy shit, that's... Oof, that's one hell of a fucking, like... What the hell can you even say? Like, that's one hell of a fucked up thing to, like... end on, you know? Like a 6-year-old child dying. Damn, man. Alright. And just in over 2 hours. Alright. Alright. We are done with the game. So, give me a moment. We're not ending the stream, don't worry. We still got a little bit to go. We're just taking... You know, it's just that now we can actually talk. So let me get some music up real quick. Damn, though, man. Because I do want to talk about, you know... I want to do some theory craft. Whoops, that's not it. I do want to do some theory crafting, right? But also, shit. You know, and also just talk about my opinion over the game, you know what I mean? So, let me get some music. Get some nice lo-fi music. Alright. I don't know what the fuck to put down here. Alright, give me a moment. I did not expect this at all. Where the hell do I go to remove shit? Here we go. Alright. Let's see. Alright, give me a moment, I'm trying to do shit. Oh, that looks awful. That looks fucking awful, why is it like that? Can I reset it? There we go. There we go. That is small text. There we go. A little bit smaller. Alright. Oh man. That was fucked. Looks nice and crisp. Alright. Gotta retweet the stream real quick just to let everyone know that I am done. Alright. Actually, we're not ending the stream yet, but I do want to edit the text right here for the background music, so that way when we get to it, we'll be... Whoops. There we go. Yeah, we're not ending the stream just yet. Don't worry. Whoops. Where the hell is it? There it is. Alright. What the fuck was the point of that? Okay. But, sorry, I'm trying to like fucking readjust shit because I fucking hate this. What happened to the snap windows where I could just do that and it wouldn't fuck with me? Alright. It's not even 11. Holy fuck. I don't know what to fucking say. So... okay, so... Oh, that's right! Shit! I shouldn't have... shit. I shouldn't have, like, deleted... I shouldn't have, closed the out of the game yet. I meant to check the tree, the butterfly tree. I meant to do that. Alright, the good thing is I still have Steam, pulled up on the computer just in the background, so I could just pull the game back up, no problem. I'll do that after everything. I meant to do that and I fucked up. I wanted to do that. But, so, what are we gonna do now? Well, I'll get to that in a while. But, I guess, like, first off, I could, like, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I could, oh, for fuck's sake. Everything is... No, that's not what I want. Ugh, really? Again, I'm trying to readjust my fucking windows here, because I hate it. There's just that little bit of space. But, I guess what I could do first off is talk about the, about my opinion of the game. So I guess, like, first off, like, what do I think of it? Well, I think it's pretty freaking good. I think it's good. That doesn't mean it's not without its criticism, though, but I think just in terms of an overall, like, standpoint, it's not bad. It's pretty fun to play, you know, if you're a fan of visual novels and all that. Like, the thing is that, like, I will definitely say this, that it's like, in terms of, I mean, a visual novel, it's pretty fine. It's pretty much par for the course, you know? Because, I mean, what interactivity are you expecting from a visual novel? Like, you read it, and you enjoy it, pretty much. In terms of horror, I will admit that, I mean... I will admit it does rely a little too heavily on jump scares to get you scared and all that. But in terms of the more subtle aspects of it, like, you know, the whispers and the ambiance, like, I think that those are pretty good, you know? And all that. Like, I will admit that I think, like, the most unnerved I was when Ash and Isabella were in the garage scene of the realty office. Like, that one was genuinely scary, if only because, even though I knew that this was gonna happen because of the fact that we had the elevator, you know, like, POV shot, you know? Like, that was actually really fucking terrifying because you're stuck in this, like, confined space, and your only way out is where the fucking monster is, you know? Like, that is terrifying. But, excuse me. But, in terms of, you know, but yeah, I think in terms of the horror, it did its job. It did its job, and all that. I think it did its job, you know? And yeah, so that happened. You know, I mean, I will admit that the good thing is about this game is that it does have QuickTime events, but you can disable them. I mean, I'm assuming that's because of the fact that it's like, if you're like me, where QuickTime events can make you extremely, like, anxious, like, if you don't have, or you just don't have, like, good reaction times, at least they don't impact you in a way that would fuck you, you know, like, you can just turn them off if you don't jive with it, you know? Which is good, that's good. And all that. So, there's that. But, you know, I am kind of interested to know, like, what was the point of the difficulty? Is that mainly in terms of, like... the QuickTime events? Like, the reason... I mean, because I'm on easy difficulty. Is that why I aced most of the QuickTime events? Like, the only one I failed at was when, the ghost was approaching me from the elevator. And I died. But other than that, it was perfectly normal and all that. Or is the difficulty setting kind of be like, or is it like Silent Hill where it's like, because Silent Hill has technically the old Silent Hill games have two difficulties where, you know, where it's like, the rest of the game you can choose between easy, normal, and hard, but then you also have the puzzles, which are also easy, normal, and hard. Which is kind of a neat, thing. Which is kind of neat. But, so that's about it. So I think let's move on to, you know, the aspects I think would be easier to explain. I will admit that I think the selling point for this game are the graphics. However, let me divide the graphics up into several points here. So, I will admit that The Letter is not the first visual novel, nor will it be the last where you will have, you know, 3D, if that makes sense, like 3D moving sprites and all that, where you see the characters, you know, blinking and breathing pretty much on the screen. It's not the first game, and it's certainly not the last to incorporate those. And I have to say that it could just be because of the fact that I had to turn the quality of the graphics down too low so my computer wouldn't die. But I definitely think that's the low point in terms of the graphics, because they can be very stiff when they're moving and all that, like, and some of it can be very jank, you know, and you know, so that's my opinion on those. The static portraits that you get from, you know, where the characters just show up in the corner, those I feel like do a much better job of showing off each character's specific, like, I feel like those do a better job of conveying emotion and having specific mannerisms for that person specifically, you know? And I like that, you know, because you can actually, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the static portraits, I think, do a really good job in terms of, you know, conveying emotions and mannerisms of a specific character. Like, those are really good, and I do like that. And all that. And so, you know, so there's that. The CGs, oh my god, those are fucking gorgeous. Like, seriously, some of the CGs in this game are really pretty. And all that, like, they're really well done. And all of that. You know, and I love that, did incorporate subtle effects to the CGs themselves, not making them completely static. Like, I think it was pretty I think it's pretty noticeable in, you know, I think the subtle stuff is noticeable in the streams, but, if you don't know what I'm talking about, rewatch the scene where Rebecca is calling Ash right before she dies. Like, you can actually see her hair, like, her hair, like, moving in the wind and all that. Like, it's very subtle, and it's the same thing in the Rebecca and Luke confrontation, where, you know, where you do see them moving very, very, like, subtly, you know. It's just enough for you to notice that they're moving at all. You know, but if you were to just, like, you know, speed run through it, it's like, oh, it's just static, you know, like, I love the CGs of this game. Like, they're really gorgeous and all that. You know, they're very pretty. And it's interesting how, like, I will admit also, I love the color. I love the coloring of the CGs. Like, it looks very, like, it's very nice. It's almost warm in a way. Like, it has a very, like, it seems a lot of it has, like, a warm color palette, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, granted, in some scenes, like, you know, of course they switch over to a more cooler palette, like, you know, when Hannah's presenting herself to Luke on the bed, but, you know, but the coloring is very nice with the CGs. Like, I think the CGs were definitely where a good portion of the budget went to, which is fair, you know, like, they should be of higher quality because, you know, because you rarely get CGs and all that. So, I can understand why they look gorgeous. And I think, if anything, the backgrounds are actually really nice, too. Like, you know, like, and they would need to make that much more, and they would need to make that, you know, very pretty as well, because you're pretty much going to be looking at the background while you're reading for about 80% of the game. And they knocked it out of the park with that too. Like, some of this, it's like, again, some of the background is really good, and of course you have some subtle background effects there too. Like, you'll see sun filtering in through the windows, or you'll see some dust particles floating in the air. Like, they did really well in terms of the backgrounds and making them seem alive, you know, via the coloring and the lighting and all that. Actually, that's what I meant to describe in terms of the CGs, that they also did really well with the lighting. Like, you know, they did really good in that department, you know. And then, of course, you have the item sprites, which they are surprisingly very high quality for, you know, for something that just flickers on the screen for a couple minutes before, you know, disappearing again. Like, those are really high quality. So I mean, you can definitely tell that, you can definitely tell that the artists at least were, you know, I'm hoping they got their money's worth, because that's really good art. Like, even with the janky like, moving sprites, like, those are still pretty good, you know, especially for a game that came out in 2017 from I'm assuming an indie developer. Like, those were pretty good. You know, and oh yeah, and then of course the epilogue pages. Like, those were really nice. Like, those, I mean, it always does seem like, you know, that the pencil sketches are, like, really good. Probably because it's like, you don't have to worry about shading and all that. I don't know, but I definitely think in terms of the graphics, like, those were really good. Those were really good. In terms of the music, I mean, I definitely did listen to the music, of course, but I do kind of have to, like, I will admit that, like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's hard for me to really, like, you know, remember a lot of the pieces. Like, outside of the ones that, you know, that play so much that I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that song is. And all that. I mean, however, the sound effects, though, like, those... I mean, the sound effects, though, like, those are really good. Those are crisp. And all that. The voice acting. God, that's another good... The voice acting is another good selling point for the letter. I mean, granted, there are some lines that I think deserve another take, if that makes sense. Not necessarily that it's the first take, but they just did not sound great. Like, they sounded kind of awkward and stilted. I just think they needed another take for it or something like that. But overall, the voice acting is really good and all of that. I mean, hell, like, whoever, I forget who the guy that did Luke was, but he was really good. Like, you know, being able to voice, like, having, like, pretty much, like, hearing him piss the fuck off at the end, you know, towards, you know, Marianne, Isabella, and Zach, and then having him be very serious, you know, when he's talking to himself about his mother and all of that. Like, whoever the voice actor is for Luke, he's really good. And all of that. And Marianne, I mean, I will admit that Marianne's voice actress, I forget who she is. I definitely think something was going on with her mic quality, because again, it just sounded like, you know, it sounded like she was way too loud for her microphone and all that. I mean, granted, and you get what I mean, like, the fidelity wasn't as great with Marianne's voice actors as it was for the other characters. And all that, like, she just sounded very loud. And all that. But I think overall the voice acting was really good. Like, I mean, seriously, like, these actors were not hesitant in pulling out the angry shit. Like seriously, some of those times in which some of these characters got angry were, like, genuinely terrifying, because you can hear the fucking fury in their voices. Again, like with Luke and all that. Like, it was good. And now for the writing. I'm not saying the writing was bad. I definitely think the writing, like, I will admit that I think it does fluctuate in quality sometimes. Like, I'm not saying that all of it was bad, but I feel like there were some parts that could have been written better and all that. But I think I wouldn't be surprised. So, I did see that, that this did have a Chinese localization, or maybe, like, the fact that, like, this was something tells me that the developers of this game were Chinese. Or something like that, because, and this is something that I think a lot of people have noticed, is that the game does tend to have, like, some really, like, tends to have, like, some grammatical errors and all that. And it's like, I think after the first few times I noticed, I was just like, okay, whoever, like, because I wasn't sure if the translate, like, I don't know whether or not this is a game that was developed both in English and in Chinese at the same time, or if this was, you know, or if these were, like, if the developers knew English enough to be fluent in it, but not necessarily, you know, but you can tell it's not their native language, or if this is a case of where the translators were, where the game originally came out in Chinese and then they translated it to English, and the translators just weren't able to translate some lines like perfectly and all that. Like, either way, it's like you can tell that there's something that English is, the English is definitely like some things got lost in translation while others got translated like not as well as others, like, and at that point, either way, it's like, it doesn't detract from the quality of the writing. It's definitely noticeable, but doesn't detract from the overall quality. Like, to me, it's like, if I can still understand the meaning and the context behind what I'm reading, typos and grammatical errors aren't going to affect me much, Like, I just need to understand what you're telling me. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, this is weird, In terms of the characters, oh my god. Like, it is very interesting how the characters are really kind of like, they're very different from archetypes. Obviously, like, I voiced my frustration at certain scenes and characters at some points in the game, namely with Rebecca and Ash, and Luke too, where, again, like, I cannot, like, I'm sorry, but it's like, I am never gonna get it out of my head, the fact that it took Ash so long to realize that there was something up with a ghost. Even, like, here's the thing, like, I know that he's a skeptic, like, I know this, and I know that skeptics, will usually try and explain something away with something logical or scientific, and sometimes you do need that in your life. Sometimes you do need someone there who will tell you that, no, this isn't real, calm down, you know what I mean? Obviously not in that, obviously maybe a bit softer, but still. But the fact that Ash was still reluctant to believe that there was something paranormal going on, even when Rebecca, someone that he knows doesn't believe in this shit, is telling him that something's up, he was still reluctant to believe it. And he was saying, like, will you stop playing along with Isabella's, like, mind or something like that? You're not helping her. And I'm like, dude! Like, that was one of the moments I just got so frustrated with him, And then, of course, the second time was when he just did not tell Rebecca why she should stay away from Luke. Like, it's like, now granted, I didn't help matters either by having him stretch the truth to Rebecca in that one choice, but I honestly felt like if I had insisted that it was confidential, she wouldn't have been happy with that either. Because, but then again, I guess it's really like, well, which is worse, lying to her or refusing to tell her? Like, I guess that's a good question to put. And I picked wrong, I'll admit that, I picked wrong. But still, I still think he should have at least told her, like, because again, he's telling her that don't hang around him, he's dangerous, and it's like, in what way is he dangerous? Because even then, we had no idea why he would be considered dangerous. Like, yeah, he's involved in illegal dealings, but you don't learn until his chapter that he's actually murdered before, I feel like. Because it's like, a businessman doesn't necessarily need to be embroiled in murders and all that, if, in order to be considered shady, and all that. But I will admit that Ash did redeem himself after those two scenes. He did redeem himself after those two scenes. So, I'm not gonna hold it against him too much, But, again, like, as I said before, I definitely think that the quality of the writing does fluctuate. Not to anything that's super, like, terrible and all that, but there are some points where the writing is really good, and there are some points where they could have done better. Like, I think the one thing that I definitely have a problem with is the fact that I think this game does this thing that I don't that not a lot of writers can do well, which is, because there were some instances where we'll experience the same scene twice, but from different perspectives. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do that. Like, I definitely think you can, but there has to be, I feel like there has to be a reason to justify re-experiencing the same scene again. You know, like, for example, one of the things that they did, one of the scenes that I think they did well with was the Ash and Rebecca scene, with Rebecca calling Ash and telling him her final words. Like, that I think is a good example of experiencing the same scene twice, because you experience it first in the eyes of Rebecca, who is calling Ash and is basically telling her his final words to him before she dies. And then you re-experience that scene, but this time from Ash's perspective, and you see the aftermath of what happened after her death. Like, that I think is a good way of experiencing the same scene twice, because, you know, because after Rebecca, you know, after that scene in Rebecca's POV, you wonder, you get to Ash's chapter and you realize you're on that same day, you're wondering, oh fuck, what is Ash gonna think about this? Like, and you see it. Like, I think that was good. But then you have scenes like the fight between the four friends, where you experience it again, you know, both in the eyes of Isabella and Rebecca's doesn't really offer anything that new to it. You know, or the scene where we had to or the scene where Hannah and Rebecca are talking about happily ever afters and they're, you know, in love and all that. Like, why did we need to re-experience that scene from Rebecca's point of view? We didn't really get anything much from that other than the fact that she acknowledged herself as being a hypocrite. What was the point in that? And then you have the scene where, you know, and then of course you have Ash's death scene, you know, where it's like, what was the point of having Luke experience that again? I mean, he didn't seem to give a fuck about the fact that a detective was dead in his house. But I think the most egregious example of that was when we had to experience Rochelle accusing Luke of being an asshole 3 separate times. First time was with Hannah, and that one made sense because, of course, she would be the most affected by it. Rebecca, which I forget why. And for Ash, it wasn't even that long. It was just like, he was literally just acknowledging it as fucking soap opera drama. Like, but what was the point in re-experiencing that scene 3 separate times? Like, what was the point behind that? I mean, you can argue that, oh, we get to see what this scene looked like from this person's perspective, but they didn't really add much to the whole thing outside of, you know, oh, this is dramatic, I guess. Like, there's no point to it. So, I don't know. It's just, again, this is what I mean when I say, like, the quality of the writing fluctuates. Again, it's not bad. I'm not saying any of it is bad, but I definitely think that it could have been improved on at some parts. And then, of course, we still don't know the whole story about the backstory. And that, I feel like, is a bit of a writing quality, I guess, is the fact that we go through, 4 chapters in which we learn nothing about the mansion outside of the fact that it's haunted and its urban legends and myths. And we don't even learn anything about it. We only really got new information about it in Rebecca's chapter before, you know, in the scene that in the day that she dies on. Like, that's a lot of time that you have to, like, and I don't know what, like, granted, some of this could absolutely be my fault in that I just kept characters alive up until that point. You know what I mean? Like, I just did such a good job of keeping the characters alive up to that point. And that's why we didn't get memory fragments until Rebecca died. But, you know, but it's like, okay, why can't... Okay, yeah, some of the information is hidden behind deaths. Alright, I'll get with you there. But why does some of the information need to be locked by progress? Like, that much into it? Like, we're halfway through the game at that point. We don't need to wait. Like, I feel like we should have been getting hints of the true backstory in the first act. But we didn't. We got it, like, probably, like, towards the end of the second. I don't know. It's just, you know, and I still, you know, so it's like, I definitely think they should have, like, I mean, I guess it's to increase the replayability value, you know, to, like, you know, where you need to keep replaying the game in order to learn more about the story, but, you know, but it's like, how much of the story can there be to explore left after you've done one playthrough? I mean, granted, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad decision on their part. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I just feel like they should have included more of the mansion's backstory into the game itself instead of relying on memory fragments, because I think if I remember, because I think it's like, Rebecca and Luke are the only ones that we got any new information about the mansion for. Rebecca's was through research, while Luke's was just complete accidents. None of the other... I mean, I guess it's possible that, like... you know, that because of the choices I made, the characters didn't go to do research and all of that. And it's also possible that just because of where in the timeline that depending on where the timeline is, they may have already done research, but they didn't, you know, but we weren't in their shoes at the time. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, I want to know more about the backstory, but I don't want to wait until we're already more than halfway through the game in order to get hints about that. But yeah. I will admit that in terms of the epilogue, like, those were surprisingly happier than I thought they'd be. I mean, it does suck that Luke unfortunately got away with his crimes, but I think that was because of the fact that Ashton died. So maybe it's, you know, so it is, you know, I mean, granted, it's like, yeah, he lost his business and presumably his money, but he still gets to walk around scot-free. So that sucks. I mean, and it is kind of, but I mean, it is kind of interesting that they did say that Luke actually, like, got better after losing all that. I guess it's possible, but I don't know. It's like, it does seem weird that it's like he was so willing to toss away Hannah. I mean, I guess it's entirely possible that it's like, you know, after seeing her transform into what happened to her, it's like he just realized at that point that she was gone. But still, I did feel like it was really quick for him to have, like, considering the fact that he loved her, it's like, I just felt like he dropped her way too quick, you know? I do feel bad for Marianne in that she did get a bit of a bittersweet ending. Like, the fact that, I mean, yeah, she got to move on past Lorraine's death, but she still lives with the trauma of what happened to her. And she lost her interior design business. Like, she moved back to Ireland, and she took up a new career in music, which considering her singing voice, she can get a good career out of. I don't know, like, her ending is very bittersweet. But I will admit that Zach and Isabella's, like, I'm really happy that they still remained friends after what happened. I actually thought that Isabella was going to go back to, Indonesia. Why did I say that? To the Philippines, after the curse and all that. But I am glad that she actually, like, you know, pursued her dreams of being an artist, and now she and Zach are working together. Like, I am really happy about that. I will admit that it does suck that, we didn't get anything for Rebecca. Like, I know that, okay, Hannah, Rebecca, and Ash aren't gonna get epilogues because they're dead. But it kind of sucks that it's like... I mean, with Hannah, it made sense. Even if, like... You know, but it's... And Ash got something from Zach's ending. But what about Rebecca? Like, didn't she mean just as much to Zach and Isabella as Ash did? And, I mean, granted, Ash didn't show up in Isabella's ending either, but... I don't know, it's just... It does seem weird that, like, Rebecca just gets completely excluded, while Ash gets something in Zach's ending. Like, considering how close Isabella was to both Rebecca and Ash, it's like, you would think that they would be involved in her epilogue in some way, but nope. It's just her art. So, I mean, but at the very least, like... At the very least, like, you know, again, Zach and Isabella are friends, and they are living their best lives. And I did like that they asserted that, you know, Zach and Isabella are family, you know, and I did like that. That was sweet. But still, man, that stinger of Hannah killing Kylie, that was fucked. Like, that was legit fucked. Like, holy shit, that was fucked. Like, literally just fucking snaps her head off. Like a fucking Barbie. Oh, God! You know, and then, of course, you have Kylie begging for her godfather, and it's like, oh, man. The thing is, though, is like, how did Hannah get out of the house? I mean, I guess it's possible that the ghost kept her alive, but still. But, in terms of the story itself, like, again, I understand that, like, of course I should expect that the first couple or so chapters we're gonna be used to establish, you know, the characters and why we should care about them and all of that. But it definitely does feel like they spent a lot of time on trying to build up these relationships, even when we shouldn't be focusing on that as much in the later chapters. So there's that. But in terms of the backstory, like, I'm very intrigued. Like, that is, like, the one thing I'm, like, super intrigued by. I'm like, what happened? I don't know what happened. I want to know what happened, guys. Oh my god, my throat is killing me. What else? So I guess in terms of miscellaneous stuff, like, I was actually kind of wondering, like, what role do the relationship values play in this? Because I actually thought that those were meant to keep people alive, but I guess not necessarily. But okay, so they're meant for the endings. Excuse me. And the fact that I guess Luke, Marianne's relationship, and Zach and Isabella's relationships were the only ones that counted, I guess. That is kind of interesting. I do like that. It's like, it is like Until Dawn in a way. But, I think one of the things I really liked was just seeing the journal where like, that journal was very, very good for me in terms of figuring out, like, because I do like the fact that it keeps track of all the events that have happened, and not just the current, even with the past chapters, because it really does, help you remember, like, which events take place when and all that. And I think it is kind of cool to think about how it's like, about how it's like, if you're in the POV if you're in one character's POV and you look at the journal, you're like, oh, this is what so-and-so was doing at this time while we were doing this, Like, I think that's actually really cool. And again, that it really helps to determine, like, when and where these characters were during this time, during this day. Like, in terms of October 30th, where, was it the 30th? I think it was. Where it's like you're in the POV of Ash and he's like, I gotta call Zach and Rebecca, and, and they both don't answer right away. And because I was playing this after Rebecca's death, I was just dreading when we would get the call from Rebecca and then seeing what happened on the news. It's like, that was very good dread suspense. That was a very good buildup of suspense and dread. Like, when is that call gonna come? It's gonna come, I know this, but when? Overall, I think this game, I think it is good and all that. You can definitely tell it's a passion project. And I think they did do well in terms of it. I do hope that they will take whatever criticisms that were applied to this game, whether they actually hear me out on this or not. I do hope they take these criticisms moving forward and then try to improve their future games, because I think they do have a good future ahead of them. I think they just need to tweak some things. So, with that out of the way, now we have theory crafting. So, again, okay. So we got a lot of information from Luke's chapter at the end there. Like, Charlotte possessed Hannah saying, like, like, it's interesting how she was saying that Luke was deceiving her. Like, he was doing this again. And I'm thinking, huh. I mean, granted, in terms of the whole, we share the same blood, I'm thinking that's supposed to be referencing the fact that Charlotte and Edward are first cousins. So that could, that's why they were saying it. But is it possible she was also referring to the nobility? Like, you're a blue blood like us? But still, it's like, why does she need... I don't know, like, that was confusing to me. And I still don't really know, like, I mean, I guess it's possible that the ghost possessing Hannah isn't even Charlotte, it's Takako. But what reason would she have for that? But then again, I think, like, well, no, that wouldn't be... Why would Takako possess Charlotte, Hannah? I don't know, it's just, it's hard to think with that, In terms of my theories, like, they still hold fucking strong. Nothing in that really, like, fucked with me. Other than the thing is that now we know that the Ermengarde mansion is in a way... is pretty much just keeping tormented souls there to suffer for eternity, I guess. But, it does seem, however, that... I mean, I guess the only thing I'm wondering is that, what about Hannah? Like, is she... I mean, the thing is, though, it has to be Charlotte that's possessing Hannah, because Hannah killed Kylie. Takako wouldn't do that. Like, she and Kylie are friends, I guess. And she said she's here. She's still here. I don't know. It's just, it's something, man. It's something. I don't know what to fucking say, man. Like, I don't know what to fucking think. It's like, I can't really think, like, what else could there be to talk about? I mean, I still think my theory holds up. We'll just have to wait until we get to the scenes to find out. Man, I put down on my tweet, is it possible to salvage a happy ending? And we somehow did. Like, I can't fucking believe it. Sorry, I'm giving my throat a voice, a chance to, like, just calm down, because it hurts. Alright, I think the last thing I want to do... Alright, so the last thing I want to do is I want to, like, see the branching paths. So let me pull the letter back up again. I think what I might do is, I'll just, like, go to the last save that I did with, each character, and then just, like, and then just, see the branching path. So, alright, so, God, we have, alright, well, let's do Isabella. Was this the last one? Yeah, alright. Alright, let's see. Alright, branching tree. Alright. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good. So we don't have to do this for every chapter. Okay, so... Okay. So this is the branching path for Isabella. Common root. Question. Okay, so... Alright, so either way, okay, so I remember this choice. This is when we were talking, this was when, this was our first choice of the game, where Isabella... where Isabella was talking to Rebecca and we had the chance to snap at her, and I was not going to be a bitch. So, okay, so that still would have led to the same, route. Let's see. Be brave and look up. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered anyway what choice we made here. This was when we were like, I think this was when, where we decided to be brave and look at the ghost. And, you know, and I decided to be brave and all that, and we just did that. So the QTE, is this a game over or a bad ending right here? That's interesting. I'll have to look at Ash's chapter in order for me to, like, guess if that would have been a bad ending or not. But okay, so either way it would have led to this, so... Move on. We'll check with our supervisor. Okay, common root. Story update. Common root, story update, common root. Okay, this is... Okay, so this is what... Alright, so this would have chosen to the letter. Let's see. Question. Okay. I'm just looking... Oh! Hello. Alright, I'm just looking for any, like, differences here. Change the subject. What was that for? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, so if you stay... Okay, so this... Okay, so... so if we stayed for the movie, this is what led to our path here. But if we didn't, we just went home, we would have ended up here anyway. Okay. Story. Oh, look at that! What was this for again? My instant noodle days are over? I don't remember that. But look at that. We skipped a whole path of choices right here. Oh my god. A whole bunch of choices right here. Oh my god. This place gives me the creeps. Oh, I think this was when we were answering Zach's question. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know that one of these paths has to be with Ash and the professor, right? I think it is. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Queue time event. Quick time. Okay, so go to work. Ending 1. Okay, so, I mean, it doesn't matter that all these would have ended to Hannah's chapter. But okay. So we could have also failed the quick time event here and, I guess, gotten killed? Well, actually, I think this would have been just a game over right here, I guess. So, okay, so this was to go to work and this was to stay home, but by these choices then, okay. I mean, it doesn't matter either way, because... It wouldn't have mattered either way, because, it all would have led back to Hannah. But okay. And it says here, so it looks like we made over half... So we saw over half of the choices Isabella made in her chapter. Okay. What about Hannah? Oh, alright. Okay, so that's interesting. Very interesting looking at this path. Okay. Alright, let's try Hannah. Here we go. Alright. Would it remain? What was this for? Okay, so this is when we were trying to reassure Luke of him being a great dad. Okay. Okay. Oh, we skipped a choice. That's interesting. Oh, I'm guessing... Another game over, I guess, right here? Okay. let me see. Can I capture my cursor? Here it is. Okay, now you can see my cursor. Alright, so I guess we would have gotten a, I guess a game over right here. Let's see. I'm guessing, well, actually, no, this would have been when we, okay, so what would this choice have led then? Okay. Oh my god. We literally skipped over a shit ton of choices right here. Where's the ending? Okay. Ending 1. Okay. And then it leads into Zach's. Okay. Damn, we really just fucking, like, skipped this whole path right here, huh? Okay. Alright, now for Zach. Well, actually, wait a minute. Go back. I just remembered. Over half of the choices made for Hannah, too. Okay. Interesting. Alright, what about Zach? I wonder what they mean by common root. Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god, that is a lot of choices! Jesus, we went... Man, we took a route where we avoided a whole bunch of choices. Holy shit. And again! Look at this! What was this? Oh my god! Jesus, that's amazing. Oh my god, we really bypassed a lot of choices. Oh my god. We really skipped a lot of fucking choices. I don't know whether or not that's good or if that's bad. I mean, granted, that is true that Zach's chapter was just a lot of reading, but Jesus. Oh, game over right here, I guess. Oh my... Wait a minute, what? Oh, that's the first time I've seen that. Okay, so what was this for? Keep looking for Ash. Oh, this would have been if we accepted the choices. Wait a minute. It says here we could have had a third choice. Would that only have happened if we did certain story beats? Huh. That's interesting, though. So we went ahead to the chapter that had Marianne in it. What is this, then? This whole thing? That's ending 1, huh? And we skipped this choice right ahead. Huh. I love this. This is cool. This makes me really want to, like, go back and just be like, what did we do? Like, what choices could we have gotten from this, you know? Huh. And we didn't get a lot. We only got 38% of choices with Zach. Okay. What about Marianne? Actually, Marianne had a lot of choices. We also got to have that. Man, what was this choice? Check it out? Oh, that was if we had just avoided the, that was if we had just avoided, going to Luke's room and just stayed where we were. Okay. More choices. QuickTime event. What was this for again? Okay, now I remember. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this was if we had failed to get away from Lorraine. Okay. Man, we just skipped this bottom path right here. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Ending 1, variant B. What does that mean, variant B? We could have also gotten a different choice here, too. Okay. This is cool. I like this. 52%, huh? So over halfway with Marianne, too. Okay. What about Rebecca? Oh my gosh, she has a lot of choices. Oh my god, we overloaded a lot. Oh dear. Oh my god. Look at all those choices! Good lord. Oh my god, look at these choices. Oh my god. Damn! What was the choice that led me to that? Where's the question? I might have seen... So if this might have... So if we had wait. No, this can't be it. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. And of course we bypass all the choices here. Death! Ending 2, variant A. Wait a minute. Question. Head upstairs. Okay, so we did do that. Alright. So, yeah, so she did, yeah, so ending 2, variant A. It's interesting I wonder if it's possible, okay. So 32% of choices with Rebecca. I like this. I like this. This is cool. Alright. What about with Ash? Alright. Oh my god, Ash has a lot of chapters here. More choices. More choices. Oh my god. Like, this is neat. This is neat right here. And of course we bypassed a lot of them. Oh, he had a lot of choices. Good lord, there's a lot of choices. Oh my god. Ah! Damn, man. Oh. Wow, that is a lot. Jesus. Look at this. Man, we really overstepped a lot of choices here. Oh my god. There's so many choices! So many we missed out on! Oh my god. So many! Damn, this makes me want to replay his route all over again. Oh my god, where is the next choice? Wow, this is a speed run that I did. Alright, so we finally made it to the end. Where the fuck is the point where I killed him? Where's his ending? Alright, so there's a disarm him thing. I don't see anything where it says that... where it has his death, his ending. Well, was he not considered dead until Luke? Damn, 22%. Jesus. Of the choices. Holy frick frack. Alright, what about Luke? We only got 7. Oh my god! Why? We just speed ran this! Oh my god, he had a lot more choices. Holy sh... Well, I guess these aren't so much choices, they're just like... I guess these aren't so much choices, they're just like story beats, you know? Like, these are the consequences your choices have made. Holy shit, though. Luke had a lot, as did Ash. I have to honestly question whether or not, like... Like, I honestly have to question whether or not, like... Oh my god. I'm scrolling down, by the way. Jesus Christ. Oh, we finally made it. God, okay. Burn the mansion, okay. This was the last choice. You mean to tell me we could fucking... Jesus. Oh my god. Ending 3. Ending 3, huh? Epilogue. Jesus Christ. 7%! Alright, main menu. Holy shit! Dude, that has to be considered a speed run! Like, that has to be considered a speed run! That is ridiculous. Oh my god, that has to be considered a speed run. But hey, we got 100% of the backgrounds for Luke! Wow, we didn't get as much with, I was gonna say Lucille, with Luke. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. There's 8. Okay. God, we didn't get a lot with Luke here. Jesus. This does make me want to, like... This does make me want to, like, replay this game again. Because, holy shit, man. Like, that has to... Like, I feel like that's a first. Like, the fact that we speed ran through so much of that story. Like, we just speed ran through it. Like, I thought that with how many story beats we were getting with Luke, it's like, oh, we didn't get anything. Oh, we got a lot. Oh, man. Oh, man. Like, that is actually really exciting to know that, like, holy shit, we actually avoided so much of the story because of the choices we took. Holy shit. Damn, I actually kind of wish that, I saw that before I made my opinions post, because now I'm like, dude, they actually really went ahead with the story, didn't they? Alright, so that does mean, however, that, man, this game has a lot more replayability value than I thought. Like, way more than I thought. Because I honestly want to know, like... Because I honestly want to know, like... Like, I honestly want to know, like... What are we, like... What did we miss? Oh man, I'm excited. So that does mean... Okay, so you may be wondering, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do now that, we finished our first playthrough of the game? Well, I was already planning on going back for a second playthrough at some point in the future, just, you know, for this, but now I'm really wanting to, like, know, like, what did we miss? And, I think the best way to begin our second playthrough would be to go back to the beginning and pick the choices that we didn't make. Meaning that, unfortunately, we're gonna have to be pretty terrible people to others, you know? Because, again, I did make some choices that were very nice. Oh, man. I mean, who knows? It could, I mean, the good thing is, though, is that it does seem like, at the very least, that Isabella's is not that different, if that makes sense, in the beginning. So, at the very least, we have the skip unseen text option waiting for us, so... You know, after we make some of the choices, if they just lead back, I mean, it does seem like it does lead back into... That a lot of them do seem to lead back into the common route no matter what. But yeah, I actually really want to fucking, like, begin the second playthrough now. We're not gonna do that, not now. but yeah, I actually really want to fucking, like, know what did we miss. I didn't know, it's so exciting! But yeah, for our second playthrough, we'll go back and, we'll go back and we'll replay, the whole game again, but this time, picking more the asshole route. And who knows, maybe some character, like, maybe the characters that live this time around will die. Will die the second time, you know, and vice versa. God. Alright, so we are approaching the end of this stream. We're 3.5 hours in, which is honestly like what I expected. So so let's see. There we go. Man. I do feel bad for the fact that some of the stream just buffered to hell and all that. Like, I'm actually gonna check. Did my stream actually fucking... Like, did my stream actually drop? Wow, I love how it says here that apparently, like, the audio stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Don't see how. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't really tell me anything about, whether... Excuse me. About whether, the stream actually dropped. But I guess I can't be happy. But, with that, so I guess now the question is, what's gonna happen? Well, since tonight was the final part of the letter stream, as I've been saying before, we are gonna be taking a break from the letter for a little while, because as much fun as I've had with this game, and as excited as I am to begin the second playthrough now, this game did take up a lot more time than I thought it would. And even despite the fact that I was streaming this twice a week for around 5.5 to 6 hours or something like that. Like, it just took longer than I thought it would, and it was because of that I had to basically just shelve the second playthrough for another time because, oh my god. Because, again, like, this past month overall has just been very, like, in a way stressful and tiring because, again, not only was I streaming this twice a week, but I was also writing throughout that time, and the thing is that even though I was writing pretty much, like, every day, until, with exceptions to, the past 2 Thursdays and Fridays and Fridays and Sundays, I still didn't get my current writing thing out by the end of this month, which I wanted to do, but unfortunately it just didn't come to be. And of course I know I have no one to blame but myself for this. Like, I know this. I'm not blaming anyone but myself for it. But it's because of that we are going to be taking a pretty long break. And it's also because I've just been really fucking tired. Like, again, as much as I love streaming, there's a reason I don't do this very often. Or at least often enough that I think most people would want. It's because of the fact I'm trying to, like... It's because I'm taking care of myself, first and foremost. Because... this does take up a lot of energy. This does take up a lot of energy. And again, these can go on for, like... And these can go on into the late night, like up to, like, 3 a.m., I think that was the last time that was when the last stream ended for me, was 3 a.m. so it's like, I want to, so I want to give myself these next few weeks to just sleep, to just rest. Because I am so tired and I want to write. But that doesn't, but however, I will be coming back with another stream for next month. Like, actually, let me see. What's the last Sunday of November? I was going to say December. Okay, the 28th. So on the 28th of November, we'll be taking a much more laid back approach to. We'll be taking a much more laid back approach, and I think I already talked about this in the last stream. But the next game that I'm going to be, or at least this is not going to be a full playthrough because there's no way we're going to finish this within like a year. But pretty much the next thing we're gonna play, at least for November and December, is Katawa Shoujo, which is an old ass visual novel. By the way, this thing came out like when I was in high school. Well, not even high school, like middle school even. Like, I first began playing it during my freshman year of high school, which was almost 10 years ago. Like, I don't even know if it was 10, actually, it may have been already 10 years, I don't remember. Honestly, I can't remember half the time. Like, my sense of time is fucked up. But yeah, I want to try and see if I can get through the first act within those 2 streams. I mean, if not, it's not going to be a big deal. It's like, again, like, we're only going to be playing this game just because it's like, I think we deserve something much more laid back, relaxed, and while this game also does delve into some heavy subject matter, it's not nearly as heavy as the letters is, Like, we're mainly, I mean, if you don't even know the premise of Katawa Shoujo, it's basically, it's basically a visual novel where you're a guy you're a guy who goes to a school for special needs kids and or disabled kids. Let's be more what's the word I'm looking for? Let's be more aware of that. Disabled kids, and you get the choice on which girl to fall in love with out of 5. And this game is known, and it's actually very well known for being very emotional and all that. Both in terms of heartwarming and in terms of tear-jerky. And yeah, we're going to be playing that game for the next 2 months. I haven't decided which girl I'm going to go for yet. If anything, I'm just going to leave that up to chance. However, I am going to be using a walkthrough for that game for the choices because I already know the story behind all the girls, and, and it's like, I don't want to see bad endings. Like, I'm perfectly willing to do it for the letter because that's blind, but Katawa Shoujo, I'm like, I already know what the bad endings are, and, no. So, I will at some point, just use an online game or something like that is like, where it's like, a Wheel of Fate, perhaps, where it's like, turn, let's see where the needle lands, to see which girl we're gonna go after, and then from there, we'll just read the visual novel as a book. And the thing with Katawa Shoujo, it is not voiced at all, which means I'm back to voice acting full-time, baby! But yeah, so that's gonna be so the first part of Katawa Shoujo will be on the 28th of November at 8 p.m. Central PM. So, I want to thank everyone for joining me on this. I know it was a bit of a shorter stream tonight, but honestly, I think that's fine out of what happened. But yeah, so thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope to see you all here again next month on the 28th of November. And I hope everyone has a good Halloween. Again, I'm just going to be probably resting for the time being for that Halloween. But yeah, so thank you all for joining. Thank you all for coming. And I hope to see you all again on the 28th of November. So, have a good night. Stay safe. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. Please get vaccinated, please. I beg of you. And the only thing left for me to say is good night.